All right, and we'll go ahead and get started in child's pose. And bringing your big toes to touch, and hips sink down towards your heels. You can let your forehead rest on the mat or a prop if you have one. And just begin to get present, like in the space that you're in, or the room, or a lot of you are outside right now. So just getting present to like your physical body, and getting present to like all the sounds around you, just letting them come in one ear and out the other. And getting present to your breath. And just that ebb and flow of your breathing, deep rhythmic breathing. Ujjayi, in and out through your nose. Yeah, a couple more moments here, just landing right where you are. And then go ahead and press up to your hands and your knees, and you'll tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Nice, and deciding what you need here, if you want to move around a bit, yeah, pedaling it out or swaying your hips left and right. Yeah, just adding like water to the joints, finding some movement here. And then right here, see if you can soften the muscles around your eyes and just set your two eyes to one physical point at the back edge of your mat. So your drishti, your gaze. And our drishti just gives us access to our like our physical bodies with more presence. It moves us from distraction right into direction. A lot of times if our eyes are wandering around, so is our mind, just bringing your attention right here and seeing what you see. Add a little softness into the knee joints and sink your heels down towards the mat. Good. Lift your tailbone up and back. And then walk your feet up to your hands at the top of your mat, ragdoll forward fold. So feet are hip width distance or a little wider. Both feet face 12 o'clock. You can hold opposite elbow or opposite bicep. Yeah, and again, like deciding what you need here. Some days we need more bent legs, some days more straight legs. Yeah, and some days it's like totally different than what we typically do. So just really listening to what you need in this moment. Good, yeah, I see some people swaying side to side or shaking your head yes and no. And keep your eyes open, drishti set. And ujjayi breathing. Breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. You'll release your hands down to the floor, toe heel your feet together to touch. And then you'll just slowly come rising up to stand, extended mountain, reaching your fingertips up to the ceiling at the top. Really pressing down through the feet to get the lift and length up. And then bring your palms together to touch at heart center. And we'll begin practice with the sound of Om. So you'll take a full breath in. Aum. If your eyes are closed, you'll gently open them. And inhale, reach up, extended mountain. And exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. And then plant your palms, step it back to a high plank. Good, and pause there. Really engage your legs. Yeah, quads engaged, pit of the belly draws in. Good, soften in between your shoulder blades slightly. Good, lengthen the back of your neck. And then as you inhale, rock forward on your toes. Good, exhale, bend your arms to 90 degrees, chaturanga, low push-up. Upward facing dog, press the floor away. And downward facing dog, lift your hips up and back. And right away, land your drishti. And listen to the sound of your breath. Now putting your attention on your hands and your feet. And pulling up into your core. Uddiyana Bandha, pit of the belly draws in and up. And take another breath in. And a breath out. You'll look forward and jump or step your feet to your hands. Halfway lift, breathe in. Bow forward, breathe out. Inhale, rise, extended mountain, root down, reach up. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Chaturanga, breathe out, low push-up. You can jump or step back. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Now really fan out your fingers wide and press into the L's of your hands, the index finger and the thumb, really root down. And every inhale, create more space in the sides of your body. And every exhale, sink your heels down towards the mat a bit more. Take another breath in. And a full breath out. You'll look forward and jump or step your feet to your hands. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Extended mountain, root down, reach up. And exhale, bow forward. Really empty your breath as you bow. Inhale, halfway lift. Chaturanga, breathe out. Empty your breath completely. Then upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Yeah, steady rhythmic breathing. And take one more breath in. And a full breath out. Jump or step your feet to your thumbs. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Extended mountain. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, bow forward. Halfway lift, breathe in, pin your shoulders to your back. Chaturanga, breathe out. Low push-up. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. And really see what you see here. Now being fully here in this downward facing dog. And nowhere else you have to be. And just be right here on your mat. And take another breath in. Breathe out. Jump or step your feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. And this time bend your knees, chair pose, Utkatasana, or thunderbolt. Yeah, drishti set to the horizon. Maybe shift your weight back towards your heels, lift and spread all 10 toes out on the mat. And then squeeze into center line, inner thighs squeeze, glutes squeeze. Front of the pelvis lifts up, tailbone descends down towards the mat. Yeah, and from that like strength and stability in your legs, maybe sink a little deeper. Yeah, but keep your chest lifted. Breathe in and bow forward, breathe out, empty. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Step your right foot to your right thumb, warrior one. Yeah, back foot spins flat. And really pressing into the four corners of the right foot. And see if you can stack your right knee right over your right ankle. Yeah, moving your right thigh parallel to the mat. And that might mean taking the stance wider a bit, front to back. And then hug muscle the bone through the left leg. And lengthen the sides of the body, lift the center of the chest up towards the ceiling. And maybe gaze lifts up, breathe in, and release your hands to the mat, high to low push-up. Breathe out as you lower. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Step your left foot to your left thumb, warrior one. That back foot spins flat. And set your gaze, listen to your breath. Good. And pressing down through your foundation, like solid foundation through the feet. Maybe sinking deeper into the left knee. And then really hug muscle the bone through the right leg. Press into the pinky edge of the right foot. And lift and lengthen up through the upper body. Maybe gaze lifts up. Breath in. And hands to the mat, high to low push-up. Breathe out. Hug into center line. Upward facing dog. Press the floor away. Downward facing dog. Hips lift up and back. And we're going to flow through that breath to movement. It is like getting out of your head into your physical body right here. Being right where you are. So you'll take a breath in. Empty it out. Look forward, jump or step, your feet to your hands. Halfway lift, forward fold. Bend your knees, chair, sit low, inhale. Bow forward, exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in. Chaturanga, breathe out. Upward facing dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Right foot forward, warrior one. Right away, inhale all the way up, then exhale right back down, high to low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward, warrior one. Press down, reach up, breathe in. Chaturanga, breathe out. Moving with your breath. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Yeah, and like as we move from pose to pose, keep your drishti set. And like point to point drishti, even through the transitions. You'll inhale, exhale, look forward, jump or step, your feet to your hands. Halfway lift, forward fold. Bend your knees, chair, breathe in. Bow forward, breathe out. Halfway lift, lengthen. Chaturanga, low push-up. Upward facing dog, look up. Downward facing dog, look back. Right foot forward, warrior one. Set your gaze, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side, warrior one. Inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. We'll move through that again. Breathe in. Empty it out. Jump or step, your feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Bend your knees, chair. Inhale. Bow forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right foot forward, warrior one. press down to get the lift up, and chaturanga, right back down, high to low push-up, upward facing dog, downward facing dog, left foot forward, warrior one, moving with intention, inhale, chaturanga, exhale, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Again, really smooth out your breath, even inhales and exhales. Fan out your fingers and your toes. Feel the mat beneath you. And from the floor, pulling up into your core. Take a full breath in. Empty it out. Jump or step your feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Bend your knees, chair, inhale. Forward bow, exhale. Halfway lift, chaturanga. Now building some heat here. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Right side, warrior one. Inhale, full expression. And exhale, flow, high to low. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Last one, left foot forward, warrior one. Inhale, chaturanga, exhale. Getting out of your head, upward facing dog, downward facing dog, and into your physical body here. And then bring your feet together to touch at the back of your mat. And you'll lift your right leg up towards the sky. And then bend your right knee, start to roll open, stacking the right hip over the left. Nice, and then you can stay right there, three-legged dog, or flip your dog. And if you flip dog, pivoting on the feet, both feet face 12 o'clock at the back of your mat. And then press evenly through both feet to lift your hips up, pin your shoulders to your back. Broaden your collarbones, open your throat. Then flip back over, high plank and pause. And then right palm down, left arm to the ceiling, side plank. And feet can be stacked, they can be staggered. Maybe you hover your left leg up. Now finding your fullest expression of this pose right here this morning. Good, really reach up through the left fingertips. Maybe look up to the left hand. Drishti set. Breathe in. Chaturanga, breathe out. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And lift your right leg up towards the sky again. Good, and then shift forward, hug your knee to your nose, pause. Now hold it there, really press the floor away. And then you'll slowly step your right foot all the way forward in between your hands for a crescent lunge. Arms reach up to the ceiling. And right knee stacks over the right ankle. Good, left heel over the left toes. And then right here, cactus your arms. You'll bend your elbows. Good, and you want your elbows slightly forward of your hands. And then lift your shoulders up towards your ears and take your shoulders straight back. And then your shoulders will naturally kind of soften down, but you want your shoulder blades squeezing together, shoulder integration. And then really start to press down into the feet. And you might start to lift your chest up, going into a back bend. Yeah, maybe Drishti lifts up to the ceiling or the wall behind you. Good, it really comes from grounding down through the feet. Hug muscle to bone through the left leg. And lift your chest up, look up, go back. And then bring your upper body upright and bring your hands to heart center. And you'll twist to the right. Hook your left elbow outside your right thigh. Good, and you can keep your palms pressing together. You might open your arms or take a half or a full bind. Yeah, taking what you need in this moment. Nice, Lorena. Good, and every inhale really lengthen through your spine. And every exhale twisting from your core. Maybe Drishti sits up to the ceiling. Good, pin your shoulders to your back. And twist open. And then stay low in the right knee, and you'll come up and around for warrior two. See if you can stay low in the hips and the right knee though. And then right away, drishti over the right middle finger. And you want your right knee tracking right over your right middle toes. So notice if it's collapsing in, so you can nudge it to the right slightly. An extended side angle, bring your right forearm to your thigh or fingertips to the floor, or a prop if you have one. Nice. Yeah, I see some people going for half or full bind. Good, taking what you need in this moment. And lift the front of the pelvis up, tailbone descends down towards your left heel. Really pressing down through the feet, getting rooted, getting grounded, and then creating like the openness to the upper body. Good, you can set your gaze up. Where are you looking? Breathe in and release your hands to the floor, high to low push-up, breathe out. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Bring your feet together to touch at the back of your mat. You'll lift your left leg up towards the sky and bend your left knee, start to roll open, stacking the left hip over the right. You can stay right there or flip your dog. And wherever you are, like pressing into your solid foundation, pulling into your core. You get that rebounding of pressing down, hugging in, lifting up. And then flip back over high plank and pause. And then ground down through the left palm, right arm to the ceiling, side plank. Yeah, and taking whatever variation or modification you need this morning, maybe hovering the right leg, maybe left knees down at the mat. Good, fan out your right fingers, reach up through the right hand. Nice, maybe gaze lifts up to the right hand. Inhale, chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. You can lift your left leg up towards the sky again. And you'll shift forward, hug your knee to your nose and pause, really pulling into your core. Lift your left shin away from the floor and then carefully step it through, crescent lunge. Yeah, setting up your foundation with intention. Left knee stacks over the left ankle. Stay high on the ball of the right foot. And then you'll cactus your arms again. Yeah, elbows slightly forward of the hands. Good, lift your shoulders up and take them straight back, pin the shoulders to the back, and then there'll naturally be kind of this softness that happens. Good, really grounding through the feet, and you might start to go up and back into a back bend. Yeah, maybe seeing the space behind you. And it's really that like stira, the strength in the legs, squeeze the back leg. And then there's the sukha, the openness, the ease in the upper body. Nice, and then come upright, bring your hands to heart center, and you'll twist to the left. Hook your right elbow outside your left thigh. Good, you can open your arms. Nice, Michelle. Good, and use that connection of your right tricep to your left leg to like lengthen yourself forward. It's like leverage to lengthen and then rotate open. Keep your shoulders pinning to your back, shoulder integration. Squeeze the back leg. And then come up and around, warrior two. Stay low in the hips. Good, drishti over the left fingertips. An extended side angle, left forearm to your thigh, or fingertips to the floor, or a block. Good. If you want to go for a half or a full bind, you can wrap the right arm behind you, holding onto the top of the left thigh, or go for the full clasp, reaching the left arm underneath the left thigh. And wherever you are, really press into the feet. Imagine you're squeezing your heels towards one another. Good, and then open through your chest. Good, pit of the belly draws in, knit your front ribs together. Open up, maybe look up. Breathe in And chaturanga, breathe out. Yeah, empty. Upward facing dog, fill up. And downward facing dog, empty all the way out. And take a big breath in and a full breath out. Look forward and jump or step your feet to your hands. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Bend your knees, chair pose, Utkatasana. Good, finding that center line. And notice if your drishti is going down to the floor, so you can lift it up to the horizon. And then bring your hands together to touch at heart center, and you'll twist to the right, left elbow outside the right thigh. Good, maybe opening your arms here. You can play with side crow as a possibility. Think your hips lower than your heart. Nice, Andrea. Good, and pull your left hip crease back slightly. Center of the chest reaches forward, and then twisting open from your core. Good, one more breath in, and forward fold, let it go. Good, nice, Adam. Separate your feet hip width distance apart, and you'll wrap your peace fingers around your big toes. Take a halfway lift, lengthen your spine, and bow forward, let your head drop. Good, inner ankles spin back so you get the internal rotation through your legs, and hug muscle the bone through your legs. Good, elbows point out to the sides of your mat and pull your chest towards your thighs. Yeah, and let your head soften again, neck soften. And release your big toes, toe heel your feet back together to touch. And then bend your knees, chair, Utkatasana. Yeah, sinking your hips deep. Maybe shifting your weight back towards your heels again. You'll feel your legs, your core engage when you do that. And then bring your hands to heart center, twist to the left, right elbow outside the left thigh. Good, maybe opening your arms, maybe side crow. Yeah, notice where you're looking. And listen to the sound of your breath. Let your breath be what grounds you right here in the present moment. Maybe sink your hips deeper, but keep your chest lifted. And then open and twist. Breathe in, forward fold, let it go. And separate your feet hip width distance again. For gorilla, you'll slide the palms of your hands underneath your feet from the front, so your toes come to your wrist creases. Halfway lift, lengthen, and bow forward. Good. Yeah, and generating some heat here, some tapas, really pressing your feet down into your hands. Internal rotation through your legs, quads engaged, and then pull your chest towards your thighs. Good. And then release your hands from underneath your feet for crow pose or malasana squat. Yeah, and if you want to just try crow, maybe you've never tried it, you can set your palms shoulder width or a little wider. Good, and then keep your hips high, bring your knees up towards your armpits. Yeah, and then you can stay there. You can play with shifting your weight towards your hands. Good, hips stay high. Maybe one foot lifts, maybe the other. Really press down into the floor wherever you are. Pull into your core. Lift up, and then shoot back, chaturanga. Jump or step back. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Good. And then do this, bring your feet together to touch. And tiptoe your feet forward until your shoulders stack right over your wrists. Good. Yeah, and then really press into your hands, squeeze your calves together, squeeze your inner thighs together, squeeze your glutes together, and then really pitch your weight forward until like most of your toes come up off the floor. Yeah, and then you can stay right there and breathe. This is a lot of work, or you might take some hops. Good, like their little handstand hops, you might just come a few inches up off the floor. You might find some float time at the top. Yeah, and go for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and then land at the top of your mat, ragdoll forward fold. Yeah, let your head drop and shake it out. Right, and then bring your feet together to touch, and then you'll rise up to stand, extended mountain. An eagle right side, you'll wrap your right arm underneath the left, and right leg goes up and over the left. Drishti right through your forearms. Yeah, and this part of the sequence is equanimity. And equanimity is just like meeting life right where it meets you, right? Regardless of preference. We don't always get to choose our circumstances, but we get to choose like how we show up, what we put our attention on, our experience. Then inhale, unwind, extended mountain. Eagle left side, left arm under, left leg over. So yeah, can you just land fully in this pose? Nowhere else you have to be. Put your attention on your physical body and the space that you're in. Drishti set to a point. Right, and that single point has access to all points. An extended mountain, unwind, reach up. An eagle right side, right arm under, right leg over. Coming right into it. And sinking deep in the standing knee. Maybe pulling your right hip crease back slightly. And then lift your elbows to shoulder height. Pin your shoulders to your back. And unwind, extended mountain. Inhale. An eagle left side, left arm under, left leg over. And taking out like all the extra stuff is coming right into it. You put in your tools, drishti, ujjayi, your breath, and foundation, feeling your standing foot on the floor, pulling into your core. And release, extended mountain. Bring your hands together to touch at heart center. And you'll bring your hands to your hips. And you'll lift your right leg up and you'll catch the front of the right knee, or you can catch peace fingers to your big toes if you want to straighten your leg. And really plug into center line. And then you'll open your right leg right. Maybe left arm reaches left. Yeah, I like my left palm facing the ceiling, and then gaze right over your left palm. Good, Rita. Yeah, internal rotation through the right leg. So right inner thigh spirals up towards the ceiling. And then come back to center. Reach both arms to the ceiling. Extend your right leg straight out. Flex your right toes. Hug muscle the bone for your right leg. And keep your chest lifted, shoulders stacked right over the hips. And airplane, you'll sweep it back, right leg back. Palms can be facing the floor by your side. And a little upward facing dog feel through the chest. Pin your shoulders to your back. Pit of the belly draws in. And then half moon, left fingertips to the floor, or a prop if you have one. Right arm to the ceiling. Flex the right foot, hug muscle the bones for the right leg. Maybe drishti up to the right hand. You want to take a half, a bind, you can bend the right knee, catch the foot or the ankle. Virjapasana, bound half moon. And you can catch the right foot with one hand or maybe both hands. Maybe the left hand catches it too. Just being at play here. All right, and then bow forward, let it go. Right foot meets the left. You can shake out your legs. And then inhale, come rise back up to stand, extended mountain. And bring your hands together to touch at heart center. Bring your hands to your hips. And you'll lift your left leg up, catch the front of the left knee, or peace fingers to big toes if you want to straighten your leg. Good, yeah, and then open your left leg left, maybe reaching your right arm to the right. Yeah, maybe right palm faces the ceiling, drishti over the right hand. Good, press through the standing foot, crown of the head reaches up, and then come back to center. Reach both arms to the ceiling, extend your left leg straight out, muscle the bone through the left leg. Flex your left toes towards your face, pit of the belly draws in, and then sweep it back, airplane. And send your left leg back, palms face the floor. Yeah, and fingertips active, really fan out your fingers. Bring your shoulders to your back. And half moon, right fingertips to the floor or a prop, and left arm to the ceiling. And you really create that like contraction, the hugging muscle, the bone, hugging into your center line. And then from center, there's that expansion. Good, really finding full expression, up and out. Expand from fingertip to fingertip. If you want to bend the upper knee, catch the foot or the ankle for bound half moon. Good, catching it with one or maybe both hands. Just what's possible in this moment. All right, and then let it go, forward fold, shake out your legs. Then inhale, extended mountain. And dancer right side, you'll reach your right arm back, bend your right knee, catch your foot or your ankle from the inside. And then right away, go. You kick your foot into your hand, reach your left arm forward. Yeah, and letting go of like needing it to look a certain way or needing it to look perfect. Yeah, and just be in the experience of it right here. And let it get a little messy. And that's the growth zone, is when it gets a bit messy. You try something new, maybe kick a little bit more, reach a little further, and then release and switch sides. See if you can keep your drishti through the transitions. And then left foot, you'll catch the left foot with the left hand, right arm to the ceiling, and go. Kick your foot into your hand. Just being in the experience of your breathing and just being right here. Now, what's available right here? Maybe kick more, reach more. And release. And you can windmill your arms back a few times. And then bring your hands to heart center. For a tree pose, you'll bring your right foot to the inseam of your left leg, either above or below the knee. Good, finding center line. You can press your palms together. You can reach your arms up. You might also try cactusing your arms again here. And then you can find that back bend again, really pressing into the standing foot, lifting the chest and going back. And maybe seeing the wall behind you. Press your hips forward, lift your chest up and back. Good. Really root through the standing foot. Hug into center line, and that's where like the fullest expression comes from. Press down, hug in, lift up, and release. Right foot meets the left. You'll switch sides, tree on the left. Left foot to the inseam of the right leg. Good, lift and spread all 10 toes. Find center line, and then arms can reach up, or maybe cactus arms again. Good, yeah, finding your variation, and it might look totally different than what you normally take. And right here, just getting out of like thinking or doing or planning, out of headspace, and just be right here. Be with your breath, with your gaze, pressing into the standing foot, lifting up, maybe going back more. Good. And release your left foot down. Hands come to heart center. And come to the top of your mat. And take a full breath in. Reach your arms up, extended mountain. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, lengthen. Chaturanga, low push-up. Upward facing dog, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Step your right foot forward, warrior one. Inhale your arms up. And then open it up, warrior two. And then straighten your right leg for triangle. You'll send your hips to the back of your space. Reach your right fingertips as far as they'll go. And then float them down to the floor or your shin or prop. Good. Nice, Robin. Okay, I love that variation. Yeah, you can take Robin's taking a half bind. You can wrap your left arm behind you, holding onto the top of your right thigh. Good. Yeah, really grounding through the feet, muscle the bone through the legs. And then open your torso up towards the ceiling. That creates space, opening. And press down through the right foot. Let your left arm pull you up to stand. And you'll turn all 10 toes to face the left side of your mat. You can bring your hands to your hips. You'll inhale your chest up towards the ceiling. Tailbone lengthens down. And then hinge from the hip creases and forward fold. The hands can come down to the floor. If the crown of your head touches the floor and you want to get upside down, tripod headstand's a possibility. Good. I know in this pose for me is often when my eyes start to go all over the place, like really land them to one point. And if you're up, you'll carefully make your way down. And then you'll lift up to a flat back. Bring your hands to your hips, press into your feet, rise all the way up to stand. For pyramid pose, turn your right toes forward to face 12 o'clock, left foot steps up and out. Now square yourself forward, inhale your chest up, and then bow forward over the right leg. Slight bend in the right knee, and then hands can come down to the floor, framing the right foot, or props if you have them. Good, or nice, taking a bind of your choice. And stay active through the feet, stay grounded, inner ankle spin back, internal rotation through the legs. Good, and then there's this softening through the spine, the back of the neck, that balance of effort and ease. And then keep the pressing down through the feet, but lift up through a flat back. For a twisting triangle, you'll place your left hand down to the floor or a block, right arm to the ceiling. And your left hand could be either on the inside or the outside of the right foot. And keep that internal rotation through the legs, inner ankles spin back, and pull your hips to the back of your space, crown of the head and chest reach forward, lengthen through your spine, and then twist open. Good, pin your shoulders to your back. It's a slight upward facing dog through the chest feel here. Nice, and then twist open. And release, hands to the mat, high to low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward, warrior one. Inhale, reach up. And then open it up, warrior two. Straighten your left leg for triangle. Send your hips back as far as they'll go. Reach your left fingertips forward. And then come on down to the floor, your shin. Good. And see if you can drop the right ribs down slightly and lengthen more through the left side of the waist. Good, and taking whatever variation, if you want to take that half bind again, right arm wraps behind you, holding on to the top of the left thigh. And then you can really peel your chest open. Keep pressing through the feet. Lengthen both sides of the body and then open your whole torso up towards the ceiling. Good, and then press down through the left foot. Let your right arm pull you up. And turn all 10 toes to face the left side of your right side of your mat. And you can interlace your hands behind your back, grip of your choice. You can interlace your hands, open your chest up, and then bow forward. If your hands are interlaced, hands go overhead. Or hands can come down to the floor. Yeah, maybe shake your head a bit, yes and no. Yeah, and if you have your hands interlaced, I really like to imagine, try to press the heels of your palms together. So your palms touch, and then pin your shoulders to your back, and then get the rinsing through the shoulders. All right, and then release your hands down to the floor. Pause there for a moment, and then take your hands, either grab peace fingers to big toes or hold the outer edges of your feet. Yeah, and you can bend your knees to do that or shorten your stance. And then take a halfway lift and forward fold again, pulling your chest through the window of your legs. The sitting bones lift and spread up towards the ceiling. And let your head soften, neck soften. All right, and then release your toes or your feet, lift up to a flat back, and then hands to the hips, press into the feet, rise all the way up. Your pyramid, turn your left toes forward, right foot steps up and out. Square your hips and shoulders forward. Inhale, chest lifts up, and then bow forward over the left leg. Slight bend in the left knee, softness in the knee joints. You can bring your hands to the floor, framing the left foot. Nice, really grounding through the front heel to pull the left hip crease back, grounding through the right heel to pull the right hip crease forward. So you're steering your hips towards a square. Pit of the belly draws in, and then maybe bow a little deeper. Good. And then lift up to a flat back for twisting triangle. Right fingertips to the floor, left arm to the ceiling. And really imagine someone has your hips and they're assisting you in pulling your hips back, and you're resisting them and reaching your chest forward, and then twisting open from your core. Keep pulling the left hip crease back. Good, lengthen forward. Twisting open. Keep shoulders integrated. Twist, 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 and release. Hands to the mat. High to low push up. Vinyasa through upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Good, come forward into a high plank and pause. You're really creating that total body integration, legs engaged, core engaged, pressing the floor away with your hands, softening in between your shoulder blades. Breathe in, and then lower down for the count of 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down. Turn a cheek to the mat and rest. And then locust. You'll turn your palms to face the floor alongside your body. Forehead faces the floor. And then press down through your hips and pelvis. Lift your arms and legs up. Good. Dial your pinky toes down towards the mat. Internal rotation through your thighs. Spiral your inner thighs up towards the ceiling. Good. Pin your shoulders to your back. Fan out all 10 fingers. Lift up and release. Turn a cheek to the mat and rest. And then again, locust. Turn your palms to face the floor, forehead faces the floor. You press down through your foundation, hips and pelvis. Lift your arms and legs up. Good. Really broaden through your collarbones, pin your shoulders back. And it comes from that strength in the back side of your body, muscles in your back to lift up and release. Turn a cheek to the mat. And then you'll bend your knees and reach back and catch your feet or your ankles for floor bow. Good. Squeeze your knees to hip width and then kick your feet into your hands to peel your ribs up away from the floor. Good. Take your jawbone straight back towards your neck. Maybe gaze lifts up. Good. And soften the muscles in your face. Eyebrows relax. Good. Kick more. Lift a little higher. And release. Good. You can keep your knees bent. Windshield wipe them left and right if that feels good. And we'll do one more of those floor bow. You'll bend your knees, catch your feet or your ankles, and notice right away if your knees winged out, really bring them back into hip width, and then kick your feet into your hands, rise up. Good, creating the openness through your heart space. Expand your collarbones. Take your jawbone straight back. Maybe look up. Good, reach the balls of your feet up to the ceiling. Kick more. Peel one more rib up off the floor. And release. Good, maybe swaying your feet left and right, releasing through the lower back. And then release your feet flat to the floor. Gonna bring your hands alongside your low ribs, fingertips face forward, and then press into the tops of your feet and your hands upward facing dog. Imagine you're pulling your chest through your upper arm bones. Thighs are lifted. Press the floor away, open your chest, and then downward facing dog. Hips lift up and back. Take a breath in and a breath out. Look forward and jump or step through your hands onto your seat. And you'll lower down to your back. Bend your knees, place your feet flat to the floor for a bridge. So feet are hip width distance, both feet face 12 o'clock. And press down through the feet, lift your hips up to the ceiling. Nice, maybe sliding your shoulders down and underneath you. You can interlace your hands underneath you, pressing into the pinky edge of the arms. Nice, front of the pelvis lifts up. So you create space in your lower back. And lengthen your thigh bones forward. And then come on down. And we're gonna do two more today. So you can stay with bridge, or if you wanna take wheel, planting your hands by your ears. And when you're ready, you'll press the earth away, lift your hips up right away. Bridge or wheel. Nice, Janice. Yeah, straighten through your arms if you're in wheel. Good. Press the floor away, lift your hips up. And then come on down. Yeah, upper, middle, lower back release. Take a breath at the floor. We're only doing one more, so your choice, bridge or wheel, fullest expression. Press down, come on up. Good. Yeah, if you're in wheel and want a little challenge, you can lift your heels, come up to the balls of your feet, and then squeeze your inner thighs in. Good, lift up, and come on down. Yeah, and rest. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees fall open. Supta Baddha Konasana. You can place a hand on your heart, one on your belly. And let your eyes close. And tapping right back into that ebb and flow of your breath. And draw your knees in towards your chest. You can squeeze them in. I like to rock a bit here, left and right, massaging out your lower back. And then happy baby. Grab the soles of your feet, either from the inside or the outside. Good. You can move here. You can stay in stillness. Yeah, deciding what you need in this moment. Yeah, just like listening moment by moment, breath by breath. Yeah, what's possible, what's available. All right, and then draw your knees back into your chest. And then reach both feet straight up to the ceiling and slide your hands underneath your sit muscles slightly. Good, and it's almost like you're trying to lift your tailbone away from your hands. Core engaged, pit of the belly draws down towards your mat. Feet active, and then you'll lower your feet a third of the way down and pause. Pit of the belly draws down. Lower another third and pause. Really squeeze your two legs together like one. Lower to hover. You'll look at your toes, really hollow out the front of your body. And then you'll take some flutter kicks for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs up, head down. And again, lower your feet a third of the way. Pause. Lower another third. Pause. Lower to hover. Look at your toes. Yeah, and then maybe flutter kicks again or scissor legs for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs up, head down. One more time, lower your feet a third of the way. Really pull your pit of the belly down. Lower another third. Keep your lower back pressing down. Lower to hover, and then look at your toes. And again, flutter kicks or scissor legs for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs up, head down, and hug your knees to your chest. And then you'll hold onto your hamstrings and rock and roll front and back along the length of your spine. And then come up to boat pose, Navasana. Good, you can hold onto your hamstrings. You might reach your arms forward or up overhead. Good, maybe start to straighten your legs. Really squeeze your two legs together. Glue the inner edges of your feet together. Maybe fan out your toes. Lengthen your spine. Press your thoracic spine into your chest. Broaden your collarbones. Pin your shoulders to your back. Lift up a little higher. Fullest expression. Shaking is good. All right, and then rock and roll, front and back, hold onto your hamstrings, and then make your way into downward facing dog. You can go through a vinyasa, high to low push-up, or step it straight back, down dog. And then you'll lift your right leg up towards the sky. And bring your right knee to your right wrist for half pigeon. Keeping your right foot flexed. Really lengthening the sides of your body, and then start to come down to your forearms or your chest. And notice if the back foot is sickling, you want your back, hip, knee, and ankle all in one line. Your toes can be tucked or flat on the floor. And just noticing here if you start to drift off into thinking, planning, doing, and can you just come right back to your breath? Right? Using your breath to like consciously drop your thoughts and just be in your physical body. Be in the experience of your breath. And if your thoughts start to drift again, you just bring them right back, moment by moment, breath by breath, coming right back to your physical body and the space that you're in. And you can stay right where you are, or if there's any like variation that you want to take here, if you want to bend a back knee or catch it, mermaid, king pigeon, like taking whatever variation your body needs in this moment, or you can stay right where you are is perfect. Nice, Chrissy. Great, and wherever you're at, you'll start to make your way back into downward facing dog. And then you'll switch sides when you're ready. Lift your left leg up towards the sky. Bring your left knee to your left wrist for half pigeon. Or if reclining pigeon's better in your body this morning. Nice, that's perfect. And keeping your left foot flexed. And then right hip, knee, and ankle all in one line. And deep, deep breathing. Listening to that ebb and flow of your breath. And really letting your inhalations be this like creating of space, of opening. And every exhalation is like a clearing out, letting go. Removing like any stale energy, stuck energy. And just cycling through your breath like that. Inhale, creating space. And exhale, clearing out. An option to stay right where you are and breathe, or you can come up to any variation that your body needs this morning. It might be different than the right side, it might be the same. Nice, Maria. I love seeing all the variations. All right, and wherever you are, you'll make your way out and swing both legs in front of you. So you come to your seat, extend both legs straight out, and then bring your, right foot to the inseam of your left leg. It's almost like tree pose sitting. And then you'll reach your arms up, lengthen the sides of your body, and then bow forward over the left leg. And there's a slight rotation of your belly button towards your left leg. All right, so you can scoot your sit muscles back. And really lengthen your spine as you bow forward. And then you'll come on up and stay with your right leg where it is. And then you'll place your right hand behind you. And this one's called Stargazer. And then you'll just press up your hips up and reach your left arm back. Please get this nice chest opener. Good, so right hand behind you, lift your hips up so you kind of come up to your right shin. Nice, let your head drop back if it feels okay. All right, and then lower your hips and you'll switch sides. Extend your right leg out long, bring your left foot to the inseam of your right leg and reach your arms up to the ceiling and then bow forward. And keep the pit of the belly drawing in, lengthen the lower back and hinge from the hip creases. And then you'll come on up and keep your left foot where it is, and you'll place your left hand behind you, and then you'll press your hips up to the ceiling, reach your right arm to the back of your space for a Stargazer. So just this big opening through the front of your body, heart space, let your head drop back. All right, and bring your hips back down to the floor, and you'll extend both legs straight out in front of you and flex both feet. You may scoot your sit muscles back a bit to get length in your hamstrings. Reach your arms up and then hinge from your hips and bow forward. Nice, Kimberly. Yeah, you might continue to scoot your sit muscles back, really getting length in the back of your legs. And breathing there, breathing into your hamstrings, backs of your lungs. And then you'll release your feet, come on up. For reverse tabletop, you'll plant your hands underneath your shoulders, fingertips face forward. And these can be bent, feet flat at the floor, or legs straight for reverse plank. And then you'll press down into your hands, lift your hips up, broaden your collarbones, let your head drop back if it feels okay. Reversing all the chaturangas. Keep your shoulders pinning back, really press into the L's of your hands. You lift your hips up and then lower your hips down. And then we're going to move into an inversion. So you can take an inversion of your choice. You can lower to your back, take shoulder stand, hips on a block. If you want to take a classical headstand or play with handstands, like go for it. Take what you need right here. Right? Removing any extra stuff and just coming right into it. If you're in shoulder stand and want to come into plow, let your feet come overhead. And from plow, deaf man's pose, dropping your knees alongside your ears. If you're in headstand or handstand, you might want to make your way into child's pose for a few breaths. And then wherever you are, you'll carefully make your way out. If you have hips on a block, you'll just remove the block carefully. And we'll all meet on our backs. Good. For our final supine twist, you'll draw your right knee in towards your chest, let your left leg extend out long. You might pick up your hips, scoot them to the right, and then take your right knee across the body over to the left. And breathing deeply. And then you'll come back to center and switch sides. Extend the right leg out long, hug the left knee in towards the chest. And you pick up your hips, scoot them to the left, and then take the left knee across the body over to the right. I love some of you have like the most peaceful looking places, and some of you have like a lot going on in your space. Like your experience right here is perfect, whatever is happening around you. And then you'll come back to center. And bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees fall open, Supta Baddha Konasana. You might place a hand on your heart, one on your abdomen again. And just be right here. Taking the experience of your breath. And taking in the experience of all the sounds around you, just letting them come in and then right out. In Shavasana, you'll extend your arms and legs out. Just finding that most comfortable spot to rest in. Yeah, feet splay out to the sides. Palms can be up or down. And as you surrender to the completing pose, be a yes for openness. Be a yes for being yourself. Be a yes for giving yourself over to something greater, to allowing for something new, to holding nothing back. Be a yes for the rising and falling of your chest with each breath, for that natural ebb and flow of life force in and out of your body. Drop into your body and give up any need to exert effort, to control, achieve, or accomplish. Give up any shoulds. Give up your to-do list. Give up any remaining resistance. Give it all up to get empty. Come from a place of I am ready now to surrender and relax with what is. Allow all of what you've done up until this point on your mat to seep in and be fully received in your body, mind, and being. You are ready now to root down deeper and expand your energetic space upward and outward. You'll take a deep breath in through your nose and sigh it out your mouth. And you can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing some movement back to your body. And maybe reaching your arms overhead and getting a full body stretch. And then when you're ready, you'll roll to a comfortable side in the fetal position. And just pausing there. And then with your eyes closed, pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat. And bring the palms of your hands together to touch at heart center. Just pressing your thumbs into your heart space back into your thumbs. And then lift your thumbs up to forehead center. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste.